flying in of the ceremony that will be beginning soon in Jodhpur. The first pictures that are coming in are from the Air Force station. The Indian Air Force will now be inducting the first batch of indigenously developed light combat helicopter. In a boost to its combat prowess, as the multi-role platform is capable of firing when it comes to other weapons, and the LCH that has been developed by the state-run aerospace major Hindustan Aeronautics Ltd has been primarily designed for the deployment in high-altitude regions. This is the ceremony, the first look of the LCH that is now coming on your screens. And it will be inducted into the Indian Air Force's inventory at a ceremony in Jodhpur in presence of Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh and the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhari. Straight away going across to Shivani now. Shivani, first pictures that are coming in of the LCH, of course, with the ceremony that is expected to begin soon. And this is said to be an electrifying ceremony that will be witnessed by all of the India, because the country's military prowess will be boosted in the induction ceremony that will be led by Rajnath Singh, who has also played a crucial role in progressing cases for buying indigenous platform for our forces. So this is coming across as the first look, as you can get, from the Air Force station in Jodhpur, the pictures that are coming across just before the ceremony. Maruf Raza is with us on the phone line. Maruf, India getting the new LCH, how is it going to boost our military prowess?
Well, the need for an LCH type helicopter was basically indicated after the Kargil conflict, where it was realized that any activity, military activity on high-ranging mountains required a certain amount of accurate air cover to be provided to troops. Fast-moving aircrafts find it very difficult to hit pinpointed targets on high mountain tops like the Kargil Heights of Siachen and now in the Ladakh sector. So therefore the LCH was approved, it was sanctioned. Apparently 15 were sanctioned initially, though the demand is for about 120. And out of the 15, 10 will go to the Air Force, 5 will be with the Army. The LCH is a multi-capability helicopter. It can fly at a very good height of 16,400 feet, which is a little lower than the Khardungla Pass, which we have to cross to go to Siachen. But elsewhere on the Kargil Heights and in Ladakh, it will be very useful. Two, it has 2-3 types of armaments on it. It has a machine gun, it has a rocket launcher, and it is sort of bulletproof, capable for flying at low heights when troops on trenches may try to engage it with machine guns or even heavy machine guns, because it can take in bullets from 7.62 mm, which is a machine gun bullet, and a heavy machine gun, which is 12.7 mm. So that's another capability. And the third and most important thing is that the pilots on it are well equipped with head-mounted sights, which allow the pilots to concentrate on flying without worrying too much about the target once it has launched its ammunition. As well as it has multiple other functions which make it perhaps so heavily loaded and of this category a unique helicopter in the world. It has been made by Hindustan Aeronautics, our home engineering outfit, and it will, in the long run, give the necessary punch both to the Army and the Air Force to deal with mountain warfare-related problems, but it can also be used in the plains and the deserts. Back to you.
Absolutely. So, Maruf, that means that even before its formal induction, the indigenously developed LCH has already proved its mettle in combat.
Well, I can't say it has proved its mettle in combat because it hasn't been in combat as yet. It's just being inducted. But it has combat capabilities which are formidable, and it will be a boost to our troops who are operating in high altitudes and in mountain terrain. It is much needed by the armed forces, and this is another shot in the arm for the nation's Make in India initiatives. And the credit for this must go to this government, and particularly the Raksha Mantri, who has been pushing very hard for such equipment to be made and supplied to the armed forces.
Absolutely, because yet to prove its mettle in combat, though. But Maruf, if we talk about the current circumstances, because you've been talking about when it comes to the requirement of the armed forces, how the choppers have flown extensively both in Ladakh and also in the desert sector to meet the requirements of our forces.
See, the choppers are a very useful piece of equipment in mountain warfare. It not only helps you engage enemy on the ground at a distance, but it provides you good visibility of the enemy's location, because the higher you go up, the longer your eyes can see with or without a binocular. Secondly, these choppers are very important also to ferry VIPs or senior commanders onto the front while providing them protection and at the same time giving them the necessary idea of what is the situation that lies ahead for them and their troops. So as a means of reconnaissance, it's fantastic. It also has weapon systems, so your senior commanders are not as vulnerable as they were, for instance, in the earlier versions of the Alouette and the Chetak. Those have been long since in service, but they are very thinly I would say armor-plated, and their body has become brittle over the last 3-4 decades. So they are not very safe now to keep flying, although the engines have been revamped. This piece of equipment will make a serious change in the ability of our senior commanders to take stock of the situation and plan ahead.
And also, Maruf, when it comes to, boost of indigenization of our defense production and the defense industry, the LCH, would you believe, will also reduce the import dependence for combat helicopters in the country?
Of course, import dependence automatically gets reduced when you build something of your own. But we must understand that this cannot be an overnight phenomenon. You see, you need to be at it for a decade or two to reach the level of self-sufficiency of having your own equipment. For example, the LCH now, I believe, has about 45 to 50% indigenous capability. The other 50-odd% comes from parts from outside. So though it's made and assembled in India, but it's not totally made in India. Now, for you to reach that stage where everything is made at home in India is going to take some time. But certainly these are positive steps in the right direction. And it's better late than never, because we have a dubious reputation of being amongst the largest importers of weapons platforms in the world. And the only way you can set that reputation aside is start making things on your own.
Absolutely, that is why it is being said that made in Bharat, made for Bharat. Maruf, thank you very much for those insights that you're getting for us as we stay on with those live pictures that are coming in. The first look